this is Madame Euphrosyne here, goddess of joy, helping you to lighten up from the inside out. It's Friday! Woohoo! Now, you might not be listening to this on a Friday, but you can take in all that beautiful, juicy Friday sexy energy into your second chakra and live your life to the fullest today. That is the type of energy that we would like to spread today. Now let's see here. Let's get this music off. So it's starting to slow down a little bit, getting a little quieter. But I'm just going to shut it off. And it's done. And scene. So welcome. Now, this podcast, we do it live every Friday. Not every Friday. We used to do it every Friday, but now it's the first Friday of every month, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that is Toronto time. And the reason why we have switched it over to once a month is because the joyful Yogini, who is also producer of this show, she is now doing a local TV show called Oxford Skugog Life, and this is weekly. So she's needing to get guests every single week for this show. So it's taking up more of her time. Plus, she also has her daily live streams and yoga classes and all that kind of stuff. So she needed to let something go. But she loves the podcast so much that there was no way she was totally going to let it go. So we still have the absolute juicy pleasure of doing this once a month, and we absolutely love it. So let's actually get the joyful Yogini in the house. Joyful Yogini, how are you? I am good. How are you, Madame Euphrosyne? Fuck, I'm sexy. It's Friday. I feel sexy on Fridays. In fact, my sweater, why the fuck am I wearing a sweater anyways? It is coming off. I'm wearing just a small little yoga tank on, and we're going to I want to feel the air on my skin. And again, not like I'm outside, but there is window open, and so I would like to feel that freshness. So joyful. What is up for today? Well, today we're doing a show about kinks. And just, what is your kink? And if anyone ends up joining us live within the studio audience, if anyone wants to call in or just message in, I would love for everyone to share their own kinks. But otherwise, you and I, we can share some kinks, talk about maybe the benefits of kinks, how it can enhance your relationship, things like that. That's what we're doing. All right. Well, it sounds good. And I just want to let everyone know that this episode is sponsored by woodgifts.ca. For all of your one-of-a-kind wood turning and wood carved gifts. When you don't know what to get someone, why not give them a handcrafted, beautiful thing that you can use and, from an artisan. So anyways, you know what? Woodgifts.ca, they have beautiful turned bowls, turned on a lathe. And now he's doing these gorgeous hand-carved spoons. You can get spoons like ladles and for salads and soups and for your charcuterie board, the nice little spoons and things like that, all made from local Canadian wood. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So check that out. Woodgifts.ca for all of your one-of-a-kind wood turning and wood carved gifts. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Madame Euphrosyne. We definitely want to spread the love. We really appreciate woodgifts.ca being our sponsor. So that is wonderful. Yeah, and actually just want to share that, yes, the website is woodgifts.ca. The actual company name is Smiling Frog Wood Studio. Isn't that adorable? Smiling Frog Wood Studio. So you can also check out their Instagram, if you type in Smiling Frog Wood Studio, you should find it. But technically, I think it's Smiling-Frog-Wood Studio. I think the wood studio. Well, whatever. We're dealing with wood here. And maybe you'll get the wood as we're talking about kinks. Who knows? I love it, Madame Euphrosyne. Yeah, maybe we'll get some titillating conversation going. So Now, I looked up the definition of kink, and I actually I lost my spot in my book. Okay, here it is. So, from Psychology Today, a kink is defined as consensual, non traditional, sexual, sensual, and intimate behaviors, such as sadomasoism, domination, submission, erotic role playing, fetishism, and erotic forms of discipline. Holy fuck, I'm already getting all hot and bothered with you just talking about the definition. That's all we need. Show is over. Okay, maybe the show's not quite over, Madame Euphrosyne, but I love it. Yeah, for sure. The definition was sexy as it is. Absolutely. So, are you into domination or submission or things like that? You know what? With a lot of people who have been listening to my podcast know that my second chakra was recently unblocked. So I had been opening up myself more to things that are maybe a little more kinky, even fantasizing about things, but I'm not like full fledged like whips, chains, things, things like that. But the idea of I do like being dominated sometimes. I find that is actually it can be a huge turn on. Dominant, like this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to do to you. Even being tied up, things like that. That can be incredibly sexy and an incredible turn on. But then sometimes I like to be the dominant one, and say what is going to happen and me making that happen. So I think it depends on the mood I'm in. We've had a Joyful Body and Joyful with two L's on there on the show before, Dawn Wild, and Joyful Body is that is the her Instagram handle. That's Dawn Wild. And she was talking about, oh my goodness, I totally lost my train of thought. What the heck? Okay, so is it coming back? Is it coming? Anyways, we'll get back to that as soon as it comes out. That is funny. Okay, anyways, it's all good. But I guess I was just meant to mention her name. She's also helped me to open up my world. Now I remember we had her on the show and we were talking about our sexual blueprints. And my sexual blueprint happens to be a little bit of everything. Some might be just more the romantic side. Some might be energetic. Some might be like, just fuck me right now. Like, let's just do it. Let's get straight to business. There's all different types of sexual blueprints. And mine is a little bit of everything. It's a little bit kinky, a little bit romantic, a little bit energetic, and it can change on the day. And maybe it will change a few times within one given day. I think it just depends on my mood. So even just finding out about that has helped to open up my world. And just to be more open to things such as kinkiness. Well, you know what? I find incredibly kinky? I would love to know, Madame Euphrosyne, and I'm sure hey, Saturday Night Smoke is in the house. Nice. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. Feel free to participate in the kinky discussion. So, Madame Euphrosyne, I want you to share what you find kinky. Well, to have sex while eating a tuna fish sandwich, but there must be celery in there, a little bit of crunchiness and made with Miracle Whip. Then that is the kink that is going on. Are you serious? All right, no, I'm not serious, but it does sound good because maybe I have not had lunch. But I do like having sex in front of mirrors. I like being able to see the penis playing peekaboo with me. I find that incredibly sexy. Okay, I like that too. Mirrors are awesome. And Saturday Night Smoke says, "Hey, hey, welcome. We are so glad you're here and you made it for the discussion about kinks." And we'd love to hear about your kinks if you want to share at any time in this discussion. You share your kinks. Okay, Saturday Night Smoke says Miracle Whip sounds like an S&M fantasy video I watched once. No way. Well, Miracle Whip has an awesome tanginess. I would lick that off of pretty much anything. that would be good. I mean, very much a lot of fat in there, so I wouldn't want too much, but a little bit of that would be great. And actually, my husband kissed me today after having some of his chocolate protein shake, and he could have poured that on him or dipped his penis in that. And I would have been all over that. Like that. Oh, I love chocolate. Okay, chocolate gets me going too, especially dark chocolate. Yeah, dark chocolate for me too, all the way. Doesn't need to be sweet, but it needs to be chocolatey. So for me, something that I would like, I know I said the definition of kinks, but something that maybe this is more of a fan. No. Okay, this is a kink. Okay, so something that I realized that I find incredibly sexy is okay. Wait, Saturday Night Smoke said something here. Remind me to never accept a sandwich when I visit your house. Okay, it's not like we're putting anything else in the jar except for the knife. And the knife is not going anywhere obscure. So you would be safe to have a sandwich in our house. It just depends on if you're going to rub that sandwich anywhere, then maybe you'll need to watch out. Okay, Madam, you know what? That's actually Madam Euphrosyne. You're rubbing off on me, Madam Euphrosyne. Well, someone's sandwich wants to rub off on someone. That's all I have to say. Okay, Joyful, go on. You were starting to talk about your own kink. Okay, yeah. So recently, my husband took a video of him having sex with me from behind. So it was from his viewpoint. And then he showed it to me as we were still having sex. And that was incredibly hot. So to be able to see that, because as I said, like I really like mirrors, just like you like mirrors, right? So to be able to see that and from his viewpoint, awesomeness, total awesome. Okay, I can totally see that. I would love that. So do you have the video you can share? No, unfortunately he deleted it. I think he was worried that I might share it. Because I'm like, fuck, this is hot. Let's spread the joy. But no, it got deleted. Okay, that's too bad. That's very, I know. We'll just have to make some more. Something else that we did, and it was just a spur of the moment. We were gonna have sex, and I grabbed my phone and I pressed audio record. You know, one of those memo recordings. And I audio recorded us having sex. Now, we have kids in the house, right? So we couldn't be very loud, but the audio was close enough to me. And then listening to it after, even though I was mostly hearing me, like my husband was not groaning at all. Maybe you heard him slapping my ass, but listening to that was a huge turn on. I found that incredibly kinky. Yeah, you know what? I would too. And I think I would be turned on listening to someone else moaning and groaning during sex. Well, you know what? Someone else gave me the idea. They had sent me a link to a subreddit, and it was, I guess this woman had just recorded herself masturbating. And so I was just listening to the audio recording of that. And yeah, it was a huge turn on. I have no idea who this woman is, but it doesn't matter. I was just listening to her little sounds and yeah, it was a turn on. So that's what inspired me. So I was really grateful that someone shared that with me because I don't I tend not to do a whole bunch of exploration. I really should explore more on places like Reddit has almost everything on there. But I've been blessed that some people will just say, "Hey, have you seen this?" And they'll send me a link to something. I'll be like, "Okay, well, I'll check it out when I have a chance." And I usually, hey, you know what? I usually enjoy it in some way. And sometimes, even if it's not my cup of tea, it might be just the enjoyment of exploring someone else's fantasy world. Like, what does someone else find sexy, find kinky? I like opening up my world to that. Yeah, I get it. I could see, it being a turn on, knowing what someone else's turn on is. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and sometimes it's not even necessarily a turn on for me. It's sometimes it's just the pure exploration of it. I used to be so incredibly sheltered. And, I said this in another podcast before, I got my first dick pic this last fall. So I've been incredibly sheltered, I feel, and had no idea even what type of kinks are out there. Okay, so tell us some of the things that you've learned about of other people's kinks. Okay, so I've learned this through people DMing me and sending me and being very generous and sending me things. So it's opened my mind up to, and this might be totally second nature to some other people out there. But some people have sent me videos of themselves masturbating before because they get turned on by someone else watching them masturbate. And I get that because I do have a fantasy of people watching me have sex. That is an inner fantasy that I have that I think would be such a huge turn on, or even doing like having a live stream of having sex. Yet I have a lot of fear of judgment and everything. And I don't even know if I would want to necessarily be known as being like a porn star, right? Yet the fantasy of it is incredibly hot. PBGFA and 00 blah, blah, blah has entered the live studio. Welcome. The PBG makes me think of peanut butter and jam for some reason. And I bet that is a kink for someone, having sex with peanut butter and jam or putting that wherever you want on your body and having someone lick it. That could definitely be a good kink. I think so. Yeah, I like peanut butter and jam. Maybe even almond butter and jam or Nutella. now you're talking, because now we get the chocolate in there. Nutella's pretty sweet though. I'd have to use that sparingly. Oh yes, you get funny things going on in your lady parts if you have too much sugar, don't you? Yeah, that's we can just leave it at that. So okay, some other things. So people have sent me some links to porn of a mother-son type of thing. And it was seriously turning my stomach. And then they said, "Oh, well, we'll try this one," and then they would send me another one, not necessarily mother and son, but like, a woman, let's say my age, was someone so much younger. And no matter what, they kept trying to send me stuff about, or like they kept sending me stuff. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm telling you, this is the biggest turnoff ever. I have a son. Like, that just grosses me out. But like I don't want to yuck someone else's yum. If that is someone else's kink, just as long as they're of age and it's consensual and all that, then yeah, you go to her. But for me, it's not my thing. But it was still a really interesting and experience. Like I'm grateful that I was able to find out about that kind of kink because it opened up my world. Okay, Saturday Night Smoky says it's a stepmother and son. Be fair. Okay, well that's better. Yeah, not biological. Definitely not biological. All right, that's fair enough. Yeah, I've had other people said that to me. Would you be my stepmom? And that it's a compliment. It's a total compliment. So I still appreciate that, and definitely made me giggle. Um, and okay, so some other kinks. Some people have told me they have like this inner animal within them, like this primal animal, like a dog or a wolf, and they like to be told like good boy or be a good boy, or making them obey you, wanting to be a good dog. And that was really eye-opening hearing about that. And also a turn on too, I find that primal animalistic type of energy. I can like that's a turn on. That was kind of neat finding out about that kink. Um, let's see what else. Oh, I've heard about people joining in on Zoom calls where people are undressing on there and even masturbating. How the heck do I get a link to one of those Zoom calls? I don't know, Madam Euphrosyne, but if I find out, I will share that with you. I will totally share that with you. Who knows? Maybe someone live who's joined our studio will have some links to things like that. Um, okay, this is such a fun topic. Now, I understand you also went on to the happiness.com site. Yeah, there was a really interesting article by Kayla Lords on there. And I was actually trying to get her to be a guest on the show, but she didn't respond back to me. Maybe if I plan these episodes more further in advance, I can get some really cool guests like that. So I'll have to start planning now for the next one. And if whoever's listening, whoever's out there, if you have a theme, a topic you would like this podcast to do, let me know. I'd love the suggestions. Just because, as Madam Euphrosyne said at the beginning of the show, I am focusing on the TV show that I'm doing, and I have to get guests for that weekly. So yeah, I would love the assistance, the ideas, the inspiration for topics on the show. But so when I was on the happiness.com site, I were talking about kinks. And they were talking about the positives of kinks. So the importance of being able to share with your partner what you like, what turns you on, opening those lines of communication and removing the barrier of it having a label such as good or bad. I think that's really important. And I think it's also equally important to, well, I guess I said communicate, but what I wanted to say was communicate your desires and to listen to each other about those desires. And maybe there's some things that your partner wants that you just would not feel comfortable going there. But to have that open communication is really great. Or even at least to say, okay, right now, the thought of it is, let's say it's a turnoff. So you could say the thought of it is a turnoff, but allow me to sit with it. Allow me to just let it percolate and maybe not say no forever, but hey, there could be a maybe down the road. And being open to, have your partner maybe send you links to stuff and books about stuff, and just to read up more about it, because sometimes it's what we've learned in this lifetime, what we've learned, things we've heard, things we've seen, things that subconsciously we have labeled as being bad, dirty. And so we might automatically get this like visceral aversion to an idea. But it might simply be based on a judgment that we can potentially let go of. So having those conversations about your kinks being able to create a safe space for you and your partner. And you know what I'm picturing right now is like, if you do have a partner right now, is finding time where you can have alone time, get totally naked, and just sit in front of each other and talk like that. Talking totally naked, maybe not touching each other, or maybe a little bit of groping, but simply sharing, like make it a kink sharing session. And we had when Joyful Body, so when Dawn Wild, I keep on bringing her up. She's an awesome woman. When she was on one of the episodes, we were talking about I can't remember if it was the blueprint, the sexual blueprint episode, or if it was the orgasm episode. But she was recommending that you make a list. Oh, maybe I was listening to one of her live streams. It might have been that. So, not that it's important, but there we go. You can also check her out on Instagram. So, Joyful Body with 2 L's. And she was talking about how you and your partner can make a list of 50 things that you would love and include those kinks in there, right? Obviously. And but even the simple things as, something that, and I still have to do this list. I should give myself, you know what? I'm going to say this on the podcast, so I will need to stick to my word. I will make my 50 item list this weekend, and you can ask me about it. And if I don't fulfill it, then I'll be like, oh, fuck, I'm doing it right now. Okay, but I'm going to give myself the goal to do it this weekend. Yeah, so even including things such as having my toes sucked, licking and biting and nibbling up my thighs, all the way to the good stuff. Like those little things are so freaking important. And they can give your partner the idea of how you want to be handled, and whatever parts you have, maybe be explicit as to how you want those parts to be touched, caressed, groped, slapped, what have you. So I think it's important to do stuff like that. Also, within this article on happiness.com, they were talking about how to reserve the judgment. So really, if you notice judgments coming up when your partner is sharing a kink, try not to yuck their yum, right? And find something that you can say that can help them to embrace who they are. I think that's open. I think that's open. That's going to be my next point, is be open. But I think that is wonderful if you can help your partner to feel safe. But then, yes, my next point was to be open to new things. So that was also within the article. And to share your fears about things. So maybe you have a kink, but maybe you also have a fear surrounding it, or you worry about something. So I think it's important to also share that, because I think the more vulnerable we can be with our partner can help us to be more vulnerable intimately as well. It can help us to explore things on a deeper level. I think it's important for us to be able to take care of each other too. The thought to feel safe enough where your partner would even shave you, shave your intimate parts. I think that's fucking amazing. And for your partner to be able to agree, like that would be on my list, is for, I can see this being so intimate. And maybe because I think of movies and seeing someone with one of those straight razors and a big bowl of warm water and, shaving their man like that. All right, Saturday Night Smoky, shaving is hot. And Saturday Night Smoky, where would you want to shave your partner? And maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not, but would you want to shave everywhere? Be specific. I would love to get into your head with that. I'd love that. And playing around with being dominant and being submissive. I think that's pretty damn sexy. And to be vulnerable in that way when you're being submissive, and you have to 100% trust your partner. Okay, so Saturday Night Smoke said I would use a trimmer on her bikini area. Nice. Nice. Love it. Yeah, definitely. I think that's great. Would you ever go for a razor or keep to an electric? When you say trimmer, I'm picturing an electric razor. Would you go for a regular razor, or would that be scary? Because like even me doing myself down there, it can be scary because I have cut myself when I'm trying to get full on Brazilian clean, and it fucking hurts. So a razor would be too scary. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And you'd have to have so much trust for your partner to do that and use that razor. But I would love to have that trust. I would totally love to have that trust and for them to feel totally confident, but not confident in, fuck yeah, I'm going to conquer this thing and then totally mess it all up. I mean, like the confident in, yeah, I'm going to rock this. And they do rock it. Of course, right? And I think it's important for us to celebrate our differences. So if you have a kink, but you're embarrassed to share it with your partner, there's a side of you that's embarrassed about you. Okay, Saturday Night Smoke says, Edward Scissorhands. Oh, fuck, those are big fucking scissors. But yeah, I would. Okay, Joyful, I think you are reading my mind. Yes, I would love Johnny Depp to create a beautiful topiary in my lady parts. Maybe a nice elephant, or even a little cupid peeing or something like that. That would be wonderful. Madam Euphrosyne, you fucking kill me. Yes, I actually was reading your mind. That's why I started laughing before you shared. Yeah, so just back on, if there's something that you're scared to share with your partner, there's something about yourself that you're not fully embracing. Okay, but what about this? What about if you share with your partner about the kink that you know 100% they would never ever want to fulfill? And the fact you have that desire scares the shit out of them, and you know it scares the shit out of them. Then maybe someone would be fearful that they would leave them. Yeah, well, okay, Saturday Night Smoky, LOL, dying. I'm glad you like the idea of the topiary elephant or the cupid peeing. Yeah, that is I could totally see that being a fear. And I think it's Mr. A has entered the studio. Love it. Okay, Saturday Night Smoke is sharing. Okay, sharing a kink isn't saying you have to do it. Exactly. You know what? That's what I was going to say next. You're reading my mind, Saturday Night Smoke. Absolutely. You don't have to do it. You can have that desire, and maybe in that fantasy world can help to ignite the fire in your second chakra, so things are all nice and hard or wet or what have you, depending on your parts. So yeah, I think, but having the courage to be able to share that with your partner, and for your partner to know where your mind's at, who knows, like maybe they can start doing some role playing with you. Pretend, like, let's say you have the fantasy of having sex with different people. So maybe they can create that fantasy for you with some role playing action. Yeah, I like that idea. That's cool. That's good to share. Okay, so what about uh bondage, discipline, dominance, submission, sadism, machoism? Is there anyone in the studio that's into any of this stuff that wants to share it? Come on, we want to get deep. We want to go deep, please. Yeah, I like going deep. Well, I've only had so many inches, so, so maybe not with a 9, 10 incher. You don't want to go too deep. Coming out the other side, right? That could do some damage. If my brain goes in dark, deep places somewhere sometimes. So, my apologies, everyone. All right. So, does anyone in the studio want to share some of their kinks? Because it would be wonderful to share some of that. Who knows? Well, you might titillate someone else to be able to embrace something, embrace their own kink that's been deep within them that they have not been, they haven't been going there. So let me know if you want to share anything. But basically, I wanted to do kinks because I think it's important for us to be honest with ourselves and for us to build up the communication and honesty with our partner and for us to embrace all that we are. We need to embrace the light with the dark because sometimes those dark, kinky, sexuality-ness, I'm just making up some words here, can help reveal sometimes it can help reveal even trauma or core wounds. Like I was reading up on that sometimes kinks can come from traumas that we've had in the past. And for me, I do enjoy being dominated at times, right? We were talking about that before. And I'm wondering if that comes from uh, being raped when I was 14. So I'm thinking it could be from that, but I don't feel like there's a need for me to go any deeper unless other shit wants to start bubbling to the surface, maybe during a dominant act. If it does come up, then I think it's important to be able to embrace it, maybe journal it, talk to the fear, talk to the trauma and see what comes up. And it could be incredibly cleansing. You could help to release that stuff, right? But I'm not saying go into those deep, dark places unless you feel comfortable going there, right? The only reason why I brought that up is just because that's something that I sometimes want, right? I sometimes just want to be dominated. And sometimes I don't know where I was going to go with that. I got a bit distracted. I had someone was trying to text me or send a message. So my apologies. Incredibly unprofessional. I will turn my phone over. But so the studio audience is pretty quiet right now. Does anyone want to share anything about their own kinks? Anything? No? Okay. So Saturday Night Smoky, how does your partner know when you want to be dominated? Oh, that is such a good idea. That is such an awesome question. Well, they wouldn't really know unless I would say something, right? And I think that is such a good freaking point. We need to be able to say that, or maybe some type of cue if you don't want it to be obvious. But, I think we can be obvious, and being obvious can be totally hot. Like, and it doesn't even have to be right in the moment. It could be beforehand, just going, fuck, if you're up to it later on tonight, I want you to tie me the fuck up. I want you to just do me, ravish me. And the teasing aspect of that, I think, can be incredibly, incredibly hot. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit tricky because with me having the blueprint of having a little bit of everything, the communication has to be really there because otherwise it'd be like, fuck, no, I don't want the usual, or I don't want, I want kinky right now, or I want energetic right now, or I want romance right now. Yeah, we really have to be able to give cues. Okay, so Saturday Night Smoke say, but doesn't that take away some of your excitement? Oh yeah, a cue is probably better. In some cases, a cue might be better. So yeah, you could. What are some examples of some cues? Anyone want to share some examples of cues that you could use? So if I wanted to be, let's say, dominated, I could use the cue of putting a tie or putting a belt on the bed. It could be something as easy as that. Um, it could be taking certain toys out and putting them on the bed. If I want romance, maybe I could put a towel on the bed and body oil. But also, I don't know, because I wouldn't want them to feel like they have to, because like, have you yeah, leaving something on the bed always works. Okay, good. Nice. If you have any other ideas of cues, definitely throw them out here. I would love to hear them. Because also, like, some of the things I want can sometimes take energy. This seems to be about me now. So that's why I want you guys to share. But yeah, sometimes I think the things I want are going to take energy. And I also, LOL, says Smoke. I wouldn't want them to feel like, okay, fuck, well, I don't have the energy, and now she's going to be disappointed because I just want to go in and out and come, right? But I do feel like I've been getting more and more demanding because I know what I want, and now I want to vocalize. I want to communicate what I want because I want to get it. Right. And I feel like I deserve to have pleasure. And I think some of that might be because, yeah, this is still about me, people. um, I guess I feel like I'm probably in this place right now because I just started orgasming this past fall because of the sexual blockage that I have. So I feel, and all those years of just focusing on my partner. So just focusing on my husband or focusing on my boyfriends before that, it was always about them. So I'm at a place now, it's like, fuck, I want it to be about me. And I want what I want. So yeah, I kind of feel sorry for my husband right now, I guess, because I am more demanding, and I feel like he's not always in the space, doesn't always have the energy for that, and that's fine. Like, we're all human, we're all in that space, but that can make him feel kind of shitty sometimes too. So not being able to fulfill my desires at that time. So hey, I take any advice. If you have anything to throw at me, maybe throw out at me. I would love that because it seems to be my show. Well, I guess it is technically my show. Okay, so Saturday Night Smoke says, that's great. I'm sure that turns your partner on as well. Don't feel sorry for him. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for saying that. Well, I know sometimes, like, I will get him saying, sometimes I just don't have the energy. and he's being honest, and I do appreciate that. But so this show has been going on for 43 minutes and 26 seconds and counting. And we have, this is what I wanted to say, because I was going to say I got nothing else to talk about. But anyways, there is a couple other things I wanted to say. I also think it's really important for us to start stepping outside of societal norms, because we can have all these thought patterns of what is right and what is wrong and what a marriage is supposed to be like, and what your sexual life within a marriage or partnership is supposed to be like. But I think, like, fuck all those rules. That's the way I'm feeling. And I feel like it's important for each couple to be able to create what's right for them. That's also been so cool with the people that I've met, and finding out the types of relationships they have with their partners. I've met some people where, their wife will get the night out to go on a date. Like, they'll go on Tinder, they'll go on a date, they'll have sex, come back, maybe bring some photos or video. They like high five each other. Awesome. And I'm like, fuck, that's freaking amazing. And then other people, who do partner swapping. I've met with other people before, like just connected on either people DMing or in my podcast, with guests that I've had on, or, things like that. There's some cool relationships out there, or even on Reddit, just going into some of the subreddits and reading some of the stories in the, this particular story might have come from this just r dash like subreddit sex, I think it might have been. And this couple, like, they get weekend hall passes. They'll go away with someone else and have a full-on sexual weekend with someone other than their partner, and come back all refreshed and ready to be the mom or the husband and dad and wife and whatever again. And I think that's incredible. And I think more relationships could be or should be, there's no should or would or whatever, but I think it would be wonderful for more people to open themselves up to different possibilities, as opposed to maybe what they grew up to know or what they've seen in Disney movies or things like that, right? I just think it would be awesome just to be more open. And yeah, I think as individuals, we could be more fulfilled in that way. And to be able to release jealousy, because I think, like, when someone is jealous, they're not fully trusting in the relationship, trusting that they're good enough, trusting that the partnership is the right match, right? Because having that fear that you might lose them, I think, is a sign of that. I don't know. I would love to hear from the studio audience too, and what you think about that. Okay, so Saturday Night Smoke says, sometimes norms are good. Last weekend, my wife and her sister were talking with their mother. She's in her 80s. And the sister brought up passing an adult store that advertised fleshlights and didn't know what it was. I was embarrassed and said I shouldn't be there. Brought up passing. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure I understood that. So my wife and her sister were talking with their mother. And sister brought up passing an adult store that advertised fleshlights and didn't know what it was. I was embarrassed and said I shouldn't be. Oh, okay. So you shouldn't be there through the discussion of talking about fleshlights. Yeah. And for anyone who's out there that doesn't know what a fleshlight is, she wanted me to explain what a fleshlight was. Okay. Yeah. That would be, to the 81-year-old or to the 80-year-old. That's what, to explain that would be embarrassing. Yeah. So a fleshlight, for anyone out there who doesn't know, and I used to sell sex toys before. It is like a toy vagina, and there's different shapes and sizes and colors. And apparently you can even replicate them to your own vagina. You can get them made that way to match your vagina. So you can send one away with your partner, let's say, so they can have your vagina wherever they go. I think it's amazing. I think it's great. And especially if, let's say, your partner is not in the mood, here's the fleshlight, go to her. Oh man, I think that, to me, that's another kink for me, is watching my partner masturbate. I think that's so hot, watching them masturbate. And I love hearing the sounds, like the groans and the sound of the lube and just the hand going like that. That's a huge fucking turn on. So yeah, I think that's amazing. And I can understand why maybe you didn't want to explain that. One of the ladies I go dog walking with, she told me about a friend of hers whose mother is in her 70s, and she did not have a very fulfilling sexual relationship with her husband, who she's no longer with. I don't know if they've passed or they broke up or I don't know what happened. But, anyways, at age 70 something, she went and bought her first sexual toy. And I think that is amazing. Go to her grandma. Love it. So, maybe um, maybe you should get your mother-in-law, a fresh new sex toy or something like that. Go buy her a dildo. Why not? Anyways, this has been totally fun. Is there anyone else? Any last words from the studio audience? Anything else you want to share before I wrap this up? Because this has been a lot of fun. But anything else? Anyone? Anyone? Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. And you know what? Just in case you were not aware, every Friday night I have my Friday night party, my Friday night live stream, and it streams live on YouTube. So you can follow me on YouTube. Okay, Saturday Night Smoky, where else can we follow you? I love that question. Yeah, so you can follow me on YouTube, which is The Joyful Yogini, and Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that is Toronto time. I have my Friday night party. Now, my Friday night party, it changes every week. Usually what happens is I tend to eat edibles on Friday night. So I open up my channels huge, usually pretty damn frisky. I get horny when I'm on edibles. So my apologies ahead of time, or maybe not. And I usually channel. So a lot of information, beautiful messages come through. I usually pull some cards you know what? That's one thing I didn't do is I can pull a couple cards even before I go. I can pull some. I'll pull some cards tonight, and sometimes I do some individual cards for people. If you have any questions, different things, and sometimes I have a theme. So tonight's theme is right now. Whatever's going on in your life right now. Do you need to be the big spoon or the little spoon? So we'll talk about that analogy of spooning for what you need. And sometimes we'll play some games. And you know what? I'm going to give away a one-on-one reading. I gave one away last Friday night, and I'm going to give it away way sooner. Last Friday night, it ended up being a 3-hour fucking session. And to me, it seemed like it wasn't even an hour. I had so much fun. So I will set an alarm, and I'll make sure I give it away within the first hour, because not everyone wants to hang out for 3 fucking hours. But if I want to stay on longer, then I'll stay on fucking longer. Okay, so you can join me on YouTube, The Joyful Yogini. You can also visit me on Instagram. So you can follow me there. The Instagram handle is the.joyful.yogini. If you just type in The Joyful Yogini, there's another Joyful Yogini there. So the.joyful.yogini. And in my bio is my link tree, and all of my social media channels are on there. So you can check that out. The one thing that's not on there actually is my OnlyFans. And it's a very tame OnlyFans, by the way. I am definitely not a porn star, and I don't plan on being it anytime soon. But I am. I have been getting more and more comfortable with my body and my sexuality. And the reason why I have an OnlyFans was to do just that, have a platform where I could feel comfortable with that. So I did a yoga class in lingerie. That was my first challenge I gave myself. I posted a nude from behind, like backside. I've posted myself in the bikini that I got for this summer, and I haven't worn a bikini in forever, but I finally felt like, okay, I can. So I've had body issue stuff that I've been dealing with, and I've been full on trying to embrace that. And, I have kids. And so I didn't want to promote that on my Instagram, because some of my kids' friends follow me on there, and you know what? And that's sure, I still have fears of judgment about it. I totally do. And I'm still working through layers of that. So, but if it's something you're interested in, you can send me a DM and I can send you the link if that's something you want. But otherwise, my Twitch is on my, on my Instagram feed and my LinkedIn. And my LinkedIn is there. My website is on there. And my TV show, my Uxbridge Schoolgog Life TV show, there's a link to that. So you can catch those episodes if that's something you're interested in. All right. I'm not good at spelling. Can you put it in the chat? Absolutely. No problem. So let me put it in there at the joyful.yogini. So that is, that one is my Instagram. And then the joyful yogini is my YouTube. Now, I wonder if it will allow me to put an actual link. Let me see if I can put an actual link here. Customize channel. Give me a second here. Give me a second. And I'm just going to find my link. Channel. Advanced. Sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to find where my official link is. I don't know if I can find it here. I think it's because I'm trying to do it quickly that then I'm like, I can't find it. Oh, I think it's under customization. Give me one sec here. Branding. No, basic info. Okay, here it is. Copy. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to paste this in here, and that is my YouTube channel link. All right, it seemed to have worked. I don't know if you can click. Is it clickable? I'm not too sure, but hopefully you can copy and paste that. But anyways, that is my YouTube, my new YouTube channel. Hopefully I'll see you tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love it being interactive, or Eastern Daylight Time. Copy and paste your work. Thanks. Yeah, there it is. Okay, awesome. Beautiful. Well, this has been a lot of fun. So I'm glad everyone was able to join me. I hope I helped you to lighten up from the inside out. What about you, Madam Euphrosyne? Yes, I'm sorry, I've been quiet. I was letting you run the show there. You're having so much fun in your joy, spreading your joy in your love. And I hope everyone out there has a wonderful day. Absolutely wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for joining, and make sure you can send us messages. Let us know the different themes that you'd like to see. What shows do you want us to have on here? We'll listen. We'll answer you. So send us, you know what? The best way to DM us is probably Instagram, I'd say. Okay, I'm going to tell Martin Scorsese to join tonight. Nice. I'd like to be in a Martin Scorsese movie. I have an acting background. I haven't had an agent in a long time, man. That's awesome. Make them join. Join in the fun. We're going to have a sexy night, all right? We're going to do some channeling. Someone's going to win a one-on-one session with me. And that one-on-one, it can either be a channeled reading and healing session, or hey, if you want to do yoga with me one-on-one, we can make that happen instead. So you let me know what you need. So thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining. Sending you tons of love and light. Bye, everyone. Happy Friday.